The grand arena of Vexitar pulsed with anticipation, its crystalline ceiling refracting light across tiered seating, where thousands of aliens from across the galaxy gathered. At the center stood Emperor Cole, his iridescent scales shimmering, beneath a crown of living metal that sensed his thoughts and changed shape accordingly, the ultimate symbol of power in the Velturian Empire. Today was the Millennial Challenge, where species from across known space sent champions to compete for technological privileges, trade routes, and diplomatic advantages. For 1,000 years, the Velturians had dominated. They were taller, stronger, and possessed reflexes that made them nearly impossible to defeat in combat. Yet in the holding area below the arena, a human girl named Ava waited. She was barely 20, with dark hair cut pragmatically short and muscles lean from years of training. Earth had been part of the galactic community for only 30 years, considered infants by cosmic standards. "You understand you cannot win," said the blue-skinned attendant preparing her for combat. "No human has ever advanced beyond the first round." Ava adjusted the simple armor provided to all competitors. "There's always a first time." The attendant's four eyes blinked in sequence, their species equivalent of laughter. When the signal came, Ava emerged into the arena amid whispers and clicks from the audience. Humans were curiosities, nothing more. The Emperor himself leaned forward on his throne, intrigued by her calm demeanor. Her opponent was Drav, a warrior from Nixhar whose exoskeleton was reinforced with metallic compounds. He stood 3 heads taller than Ava, secondary arms flexing menacingly. "Begin," called the Emperor, and Drav charged. Ava didn't move until the last possible moment. Then she twisted sideways, using her smaller frame to slip beneath Drav's guard. The audience gasped. This wasn't the clumsy human fighting they expected. "Interesting," muttered Emperor Cole. Drav recovered quickly, chittering in rage as he swung massive limbs. Ava ducked, rolled, and struck at the joints where his armor was thinnest. She had studied her opponent, understanding what the Velturians never bothered to learn. That knowledge could counter raw strength. When Drav finally collapsed, defeated through precision rather than power, the arena fell silent. The Emperor's crown pulsed with bright energy, a sign of his surprise and fascination. Ava advanced through 3 more rounds, each opponent more formidable than the last. The whispers changed from dismissal to concern. Humans weren't supposed to be this adaptable, this unpredictable. Their techniques seemed to evolve within the fight itself. In the semifinals, Ava faced Lur, a gaseous entity whose form could solidify at will. The match lasted nearly an hour, with Ava retreating, observing, then exploiting the pattern of Lur's transformations. When she emerged victorious, clutching her side where Lur had landed a crushing blow, Emperor Cole's advisors began to whisper urgently in his ear. "She must not reach the final," one insisted. "The implications for our rule—" "Silence," Cole commanded, his 4-fingered hand raising. "I wish to see what happens." The final opponent was Grek, the Emperor's own nephew and champion of the Velturians. His scales rippled with bioluminescent patterns of intimidation as he entered the arena. Twice Ava's height and 3 times her weight, armed with retractable bone blades that could slice through most materials. The crowd erupted in cheers for their champion. This would restore the natural order. Grek attacked immediately, driving Ava backward across the arena floor. She blocked once, twice, but the 3rd strike cut across her shoulder. The crowd roared approval at the sight of red human blood. Emperor Cole's crown pulsed again, but now with a different pattern. Curiosity. Ava touched her wound and studied the blood on her fingers. Then something changed in her stance. The Velturians, for all their physical superiority, had never experienced true survival pressure on their homeworld. They were apex predators who evolved without natural enemies. Humans had fought everything, weather, beasts, disease, and themselves, for their entire existence. Ava began moving differently, no longer following any combat form the arena had seen. She wasn't fighting according to rules or traditions. She was fighting to survive, each movement precisely calculated from millennia of human evolutionary pressure. When Grek charged again, Ava used his momentum against him, redirecting, rather than blocking. She struck at pressure points the Volturian anatomy charts had deemed insignificant. She created patterns of attack, then broke them deliberately to confuse his expectations. "What is she doing?" whispered an advisor to the Emperor. "Adapting," Call replied, his crown now pulsing rapidly. "Watch." The battle stretched longer than any in tournament history. Ava was bleeding from multiple wounds, but Grek was slowing, his perfect Volturian physiology confounded by human unpredictability. Then Ava feinted left, rolled beneath a sweeping blade, and struck upward at a nerve cluster beneath Grek's jaw. Weakness no non-human had ever identified. The champion crashed to the floor, temporarily paralyzed. The arena went silent. A human had won the millennial challenge. Emperor Cole stood, his massive form towering over his entourage. Protocol demanded he present the winner with technological secrets and trade agreements. Instead, he descended from his royal box and approached Ava personally. Something no emperor had done in 5,000 years. Ava stood her ground, bloodied but unbowed. "You fought without superior strength or speed," the emperor said, his voice resonating through the arena. "Yet you prevailed against our best." "Humans adapt," Ava replied simply. "It's what we do." The emperor's crown pulsed once more, then slowly lifted from his head. The crowd gasped collectively. The crown was more than jewelry. It was the neural interface that controlled their vast empire, passed down through 20 generations. "Our empire has grown stagnant under a species that believes itself perfected," Emperor Cole announced. "Today I saw the future." He placed the living metal crown above Ava's head, where it hovered momentarily before reshaping itself to fit her human form. "The universe requires adaptation to survive," the Emperor continued. "And humans are the masters of adaptation." As the crown settled onto Ava's head, connecting with her neural pathways, the entire Volturian Empire shifted course, toward a future where ingenuity trumped strength, and humanity's greatest gift to the stars was their relentless ability to evolve.